gentlemen, members of the English-speaking Union Pakistan, welcome to the annual general body meeting of ESUP. I would be requesting our NCC member Farooq Afzal to come here. After Tilawat, there will be a Dua Maghfirat. We will have a Dua Maghfirat for the mother of Mr. Kaleem Farooqi, the mother of Mr. Akram Wali Muhammad, who was NCC member, and our oldest member, Siraj Ahmed, and one of our members, Iqbal Shikhani, plus if there is any other family member of our members, for all of them we'll have Dua Maghfirat. Oh yes, and Hamreen is here. Our distinguished member Salahuddin Aider also passed away in the past couple of months ago. So Mr. Farooq Afzal, आप तिलावत भी कर दें और दुआ मग़फ़िरत करें.
औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. रब्बुल मशरिक़ैनि व रब्बुल मग़रिबैन फ़बिअय्यि आलाइ रब्बिकुमा तुकज़्ज़िबान. मरजल बहरैनि यल्तक़ियान बैनहुमा बरज़ख़ुन ला यब्ग़ियान. फ़बिअय्यि आलाइ रब्बिकुमा तुकज़्ज़िबान. सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम. दुआ मग़फ़िरत करते हैं. औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन. इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन. इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तक़ीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दालीन. आमीन. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद. या रब्बुल आलमीन, या अरहमर राहिमीन, या ज़िल जलाल वल इकराम, या रहमान, या रहीम, या वहाब, या रज़ाक़ो, या समीओ, या बसीरो. या बारी ताला तेरा जितना भी कलाम पढ़ा गया, या बारी ताला उसका सवाब हमारे प्यारे नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को पहुँच के, उनके आले औलाद को, सहाबा कराम को, तबा ताबीन को, तमाम मोमिनीन को पहुँच के, ख़ास तौर पर उन तमाम मरहूमीन को पहुँचे जिनका आज ज़िक्र किया गया. या अल्लाह उन सब की मग़फ़िरत फ़रमा. या बारी ताला उनके साथ रहम वाला मामला फ़रमा. या अल्लाह उनके दर्जात बुलंद फ़रमा. या बारी ताला उनको जन्नतुल फ़िरदौस में जगह अता फ़रमा. या अल्लाह उनकी तमाम मनाजिल जो आगे आने वाली हैं, या रब्बुल आलमीन उनको आसान कर दे उनके लिए. या अल्लाह हमारे और तमाम मरहूमीन जो भी हमारे सब यहाँ लोग बैठे हैं उनके उन सब की मग़फ़िरत फ़रमा, हमारी मग़फ़िरत फ़रमा. वसल्लल्लाहु तआला अला खैर खल्क़ि सय्यदना मुहम्मदिन व आलिहि वसहबिहि अजमईन. आमीन बरहमतिका या अरहमर राहिमीन.
Majid, before we proceed, may I request the members to please obtain a short silence for late Duke of Edinburgh, who was the president of English Speaking Union for 62 years.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the confirmation of the minutes of the EGM held on the 23rd December 2019. I'm sure most of you, all of you have received the copies here. If any comments or confirmation? Anyone propose? I would appreciate, yeah, Mr. Behram Awari propose. Second, Ghulam Ali Mohammed. Thank you. So the minutes are confirmed. Now I would request President Aziz Memon to welcome the members. I would like him to welcome right now, but I would appreciate that his report should come later. So if that is okay with everyone, Mr. President, you can just welcome and then you can give a report later. Thank you.
Thank you, Majid Aziz. Before welcoming anyone, I would like to welcome our former President and the Chief Election Commissioner, Mr. Behram Awari. He has been a pillar of support and not in the recent years, but in the past. And before him, his father was. And we hope that this tradition will not stop with Baba, but will continue with his children. And now the grandchildren, Dinsha is also in business. Thank you. So my friends, I will definitely give some comments, but I would like to, which will be my report also, but I would like to keep it till the end, and I would like and request Majid Aziz, Secretary General, lifetime Secretary General, to proceed further.
Thank you. The approval of the audited accounts 2017, 18, 19, 20, which was 18 months, and 2021, a lot of hard work was done by the former treasurer, Mr. Hussain Basrai, who is sitting here, and he was also ably supported by Najib Muchalla. And so I would request Najib, you can come here and give your report. Ajay, you have a mic there. Hussain, would you like to first comment before he gives? Yeah, please come here and comment. You know, I think it is more important.
Yes, I think so. Assalamu alaikum. I think the copies of the accounts are with you, but I'll just briefly summarize the position, because when this committee took over, we did not have the accounts of 17 and 18 for the year. So we actually finalized the December 17 year-end account, the 18 year-end account. Then we actually changed the income year from December to June, because we thought we actually wanted to be on the active taxpayers list and file a return. Being on the active taxpayers list was an advantage that we would be now having the withholding tax at 15% on our investments. So that was the basic reason. And the last account was for the year ended 30th of June 2021. Now I just want to, you have got the accounts in front of you, but I'll just try to highlight that when we took over, effectively 16 year-end accounts were available. So the year-end 31st of December 2017, we had a general fund of 1,045,907. The general fund is the fund which remains in terms of the effective savings as far as, English speaking is concerned. And by the way, English speaking union is, through the doctrine of mutuality, not liable to tax. So obviously the return which was filed was an exempt return. In January to December 2018, the surplus, the overall general fund was reduced to 942,302, which is 9,42,302. Then 20 was the year when we took over, which was the 1st of January 2020. So the first account we made was for 18 months up to June 2020. and the general fund went up to 3,619,276. The reason primarily being that a lot of life members were made, which added to the increase in funds. And the next year's account, 2021, the fund increased to 5,823,864. Again, a massive jump. In other words, if I identify the 2 years, surplus for the year, in the 18 months to 2020, surplus was 2,691,974, and the surplus for the 12 months June 2021 was 2,219,588. So this is the position as far as the surplus is concerned. Currently, if I go by this, we have, as of 30th of June year end, we have total TDRs of 5.7 million. However, up-to-date position is that our total TDR now are 6.7 million as far as we are concerned, you see. So obviously, it will help in the overall the meeting of cost. But I think one of the most important thing which is very relevant, that this account does not have any occupancy cost, any support function cost, any utilities cost, anything. All this has been possible due to the office of the president, which has been giving the space and everything. So we are saving among many organizations I have seen. This major costs have not basically been included as far as the English-speaking union is concerned. So I just wanted to highlight that. A couple of other things. I mentioned about the active taxpayers list. I mentioned about the return which we have filed, identified that, and I think, Majid, I'm sort of acknowledged in terms of the efforts. I think Ashfaq's efforts were very important. Moiz is another person whose efforts were very important, because there were a lot of problems in finalizing the accounts of 17 and 18, you see. And Najib, obviously, being now the sort of new treasurer, will have, I think, little challenges, because things are more or less sorted out, you see. So that is what it. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
One other thing that I would like to add, talking about not having spent a penny on these things, there is another element. We are sitting at a space we are never charged with, thanks to Baba. Baba, it would not have been possible. We take you for granted, and we have been doing everything that we can without even asking you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you.
Thank you, Hussain, for your excellent comments. I would now ask the House to approve the audited accounts for the years 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 2021. Wajid? Okay. Okay. All right. I think Shoaib Ismail seconded it. Okay, next we come to the appointment of auditors. Najib, appointment of auditors? Yes, yeah, you can, if you want, you can say it from there also.
Auditors, our firm has been sort of approached. I mean, I will not directly be the engagement partner, because my other partner, he's doing the audits, because there would be a conflict, so the other partner is doing it. And yes, inshallah, we will definitely be glad to do the audits if appointed.
You have to give the name of the auditors.
Crow Hussain Chaudhary and Company, yeah, this is the name of the firm.
So the need a proposal for the appointment of auditors as mentioned by the treasurer. Irfan and Arif Qasim. Okay. Okay. Number 7 is a very important part of today's AGM meeting. Is the amendments in the ESUP Articles of Association. And I would request our NCC member, Mr. Moin Fuda, to please come on the stage and explain the amendments and the rationale behind it.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mr. President, allow me to congratulate you for your great work. Not many organizations, ladies and gentlemen, under the Societies Act complete their accounts before the AGM, or if they do, it's belated or some excuse is given. So this is a wonderful job to have completed the account as of 30th of June 2021. And if the Honorary Treasurer mention a million rupee jump to 5 million rupees, then this goes to the credit entirely of the President Aziz Memon. Not only he followed the collection, but he made so many members and encouraged the NCC also to bring membership. So every meeting, about 50% of the time was spent to collect the money. And as a result, now that the ESU balance sheet is healthy, the NCEC has proposed before the AGM that those members who are above the age of 65, if they can't pay the dues until 30th of June 2022, then as a gesture of goodwill and their long standing, subject to the approval by the NCEC, those will be made life members. Do I have your approval for that? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. The second item is with regards to those below 65. And for that, NCEC recommends that we collect 50% of the amount from them, and if they wish, they can pay in installments also. So if you're talking of 50,000 rupees, down by 50% is 25,000 rupees. And they can pay in installments to clear it up, and then they become permanent. Gentlemen, ladies, do I have your approval for that? Thank you very much, sir. Seconder? Thank you, sir. We have a category of a youth membership, and we are now putting a threshold of a youth between the age of 15 to 35. And this membership is of 2 years and can be renewed until the member reaches to the age of 35. And the tea charges are levied annually of 5% of the entrance fee or life membership fee. And currently, it's 50,000, so 5% is 2,500 rupees. So they have to pay 2,500 rupees by first day of each fiscal year, but again there is a grace period of 90 days. So if they don't pay by 1st of October, then their membership is terminated. And there will not be any more chasing by the office from 1st of October onwards. 35 years age, if the member crosses that age, then that person, because of the long standing, will be offered a life membership by paying a 50%, because he might have paid 2,500 rupees for 5-7 years. So that person will be entitled to avail the life membership by paying 50%. So that is the youth membership. Do I have your approval, sir? Gentlemen. Mr. Basrai. Mr. Afzal. Thank you very much. Because our coverage is given a lot of importance by the media friends, and they write also, so we owe to the media to become life member, and it's for the NCEC to invite anybody that they think is worth for the ESU's projection, that membership will be offered to a reputable journalist at the 50% of life membership, whatever is prevailing. Currently is 50,000, so it will be 25,000 for NCEC. May I have your approval for that? Mr. Bakhtiar, Mr. Ghulam Ali, Mr. Athar Iqbal, thank you very much. We had a membership termination clause which we have now combined from termination to transfer together. So termination obviously is misconduct or inappropriate behavior, and NCC is the sole authority for that. And after giving due process of hearing, the NCC will exercise its rights. But then the other important part that NCC is proposing, ladies and gentlemen, is that if a member dies while in service, while in membership, then NCEC may please be empowered to either offer the membership to a spouse, son or daughter, subject to the consent of a family member, and by paying 10% of the prevailing fee, which means currently 10% will come to 5,000 rupees. So that's for those members who have served the interest of the ESU, have been long membership, and then they can have one member coming from the family. Do I have your approval, please? Mr. Zamindar. Mr. Shahzad, thank you very much. My job is done. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, I am happy to answer, sir.
Regarding the youth membership, do we have any cap or any standing needed to become from youth to life member? Like example, if someone become youth member at the age of 33, so within 2 years or within one installment, he can avail a 25,000 benefit. So do we have any cap of youth to be as a youth member for so many years, then he can become the life member?
Very good question, sir. What we are proposing here is that to convert the membership, NCEC may be empowered. So NCEC will decide on the case-to-case basis. Obviously, if somebody is coming at the age of 33, and then you are saying that that person will simply get a huge discount, so it will be for the NCEC to decide based on the process. Are you clear, sir? So, Mr. Secretary General, please record that in the minutes. Yes, sir. Mr. Athar Iqbal, sorry.
Become a life member by paying 25,000 from day one?
If they want, they can. If it's a youth, then you have to become a youth member and then follow the process. But again, as I responded to the gentleman here, that it's the NCEC which is the authority to decide. So we are asking you by this resolution is to also empower the NCEC on case-to-case basis. And I'm sure you have elected the NCEC, and NCEC will do a due diligence and the judgment call on this. Are you clear, sir, on that, Mr. Secretary General? Can you
Mr.
please
Fuller,
record that as part of the minutes?
I thought I heard a clause about misconduct. How do you define misconduct?
That's also very important, sir. And that's where the rule amendments provides the NCEC to go through the due process. So if it's a misconduct and it has to do with any of the country's law or otherwise, it's for the NCEC to judge, and then again the process, due process has to be followed, which is written everywhere. It's prevailing practice that you issue a show cause, and then you go through the hearing process, and then NCEC will appoint a committee to do this, and then it will come to the governing body. So the due process has to be followed. Mr. Secretary General, can you please take a note of it? Do I have your approval, sir? Thank you very much. Mr. President, sir, if you have a question, I'm happy to answer.
Not a question. Once the amendments were circulated, I got comments from some of our members, including past President Mr. Behram Abari, that when we say that those who are above 65 and are not in a financial position to pay, will it mean across the board? So I had explained that no, it would be up to the NCEC, and it will be those members who are currently up to date in until last 2-3 years, and not someone who was a member 20 years back and he comes up. So we will need to have some clarification on
Mr.
that.
President, Mr. President,
Sir.
the question was raised, and I mentioned, as we have deliberated in the NCEC, is that NCEC, Baba, will be empowered to look into each and every case. It's not automatic invitation that you become a life member. The process has to go through to evaluate the application, to see that the person has been the member for how long and how many reminders have been sent, and through the process we can also evaluate, because we have eyes and ears of several NCC member who can do the due diligence. If the person is going and attending some Rotary balls and able to cough up the money, then it should be able to do that for the ESU as well. So we have to be, you ladies and gentlemen, please empower the ESU for this. Do I have your approval? Mr. Secretary General, please make a note of it, as President is very much interested and very rightly pointed out. Thank you very much for listening and giving me your eyes and ears, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Fuda. I would like to inform the members that Moin and his team really worked hard, and there was a lot of deliberation, discussion, and finally we decided that there were so many loopholes that had to be plugged in, and you did a remarkable job. Thank you very much. Now it is my pleasure to inform the House of the new NCC for 2022-2023. Okay, thank you. I better write down before I forget. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the office bearers, the new office bearers for the term 2022-2023. Under the new rules, it is just automatic. So Mr. Kaleem Farooqi is elected the president.
Before you proceed, let me change.
No, wait a minute, I'll change it.
I should not delay my work. Here it comes.
It is to be after. Since in the last committee, Mr. Kaleem Farooqi was the SVP and Mr. Tariq Ikram was the VP, and since Mr. Farooqi has become the president and Mr. Tariq Ikram expressed his inability to be part of the NCC, so we had two openings, and I'm pleased to announce that Mr. Parvez Harun Madraswala and Mr. Irfan Qureshi are both elected vice presidents. Mr. Qureshi was the joint secretary in the last board, and so there was a vacancy, and the NCC had proposed an unopposed election of Shah Lalani as the new joint secretary. When we at first approached Mr. Hussain Basrai, because being a chartered accountant, we thought that our accounts were in a mess, and his report proved beyond a shadow of doubt the hard work put in by him and his committee. So it was decided to maintain the tradition of having a chartered accountant as the treasurer. So I'm pleased to announce Mr. Najib Tahir Muchala as the new honorary treasurer. And of course, the Secretary General just only seems to leave. So Majid Aziz continues as the Secretary General.
Let me add, it is just not by chance. It is just not by coincidence. It is with his hard work, dedication and commitment. And I told the incoming president that if he wants to have a successful term, it can only be possible with as Majid Aziz as Secretary General. I have tried him out for 30 years and he has been a success.
Thank you. Let's now come to the members of the NCC. Mr. Moin Fuda, Mr. Shehzad Sabir, Mr. Athar Iqbal, Mr. Bakhtiar Khan, Mr. Ghulam Ali Mohammed, Mr. Farooq Afzal, Mr. Sunaina Ismail, Miss. Yeah, male chauvinism is everywhere. Sorry, my apologies. Again, I will say, Miss Sunaina Ismail. Professor Dr. Farhan Isa, but he is not in here. Maybe he is out of Pakistan. He is traveling, so he is the next one. Now, the names that I mentioned were in the past committee also. And we have 3 new members of the NCC, and I will introduce them. Mr. Salim Zamindar, Mr. Abbas Lavingia, and I don't see him, Mr. Sayyid Nadeem Kazmi. He is also, I think, out of town. I'd like to welcome Dr. Mustaq Noorwala, who was an active member in the past of the Managing Committee. I was also asked by some members that we should also announce the list of those names of those candidates who graciously withdrew from the election, enabling the new board to be elected unopposed. So first I would like to welcome, announce and thank the following. Mr. Engineer Rizwan Usman. खड़े हो जाएं तो सब देख लें. Mr. Fahim Suleiman. Our ex-treasurer, Mr. Hussain Basrai. Mr. Sirajuddin Aziz. Dr. Ziba Irfanullah. Mrs. Zora Ashraf Noorwala, she is sitting way back. Mr. Anis Yunus and Mr. Nisar Ahmed Sheikh. These 8 members we do now. I will request our President to present his report because it's a detailed report. Okay. Okay, I will now announce, I want to announce that Mr. Kaleem Farooqi should present his report as well as a resolution that he has prepared. And then if the new president allows, maybe a few of them might want to compliment Mr. Aziz Memon about a minute each. I will request them also so that we can have their views also. So, Mr. Kaleem Farooqi, the new president, ESUP.
Thank you, Mr. Majid. What a pleasure. And before I start, I need to thank all of you for imposing your trust in me.
So, I think there has been a little misunderstanding about Kader Jafar Saab. He has gone to our residence. He thought that the AGM was over there, and I think he is now on his way over here. I don't know whether he'll make it in time, but let's hope he does.
The message about Mr. Kader Jafar, he telephoned me that he'll be late, but he didn't say where is he coming. and he has apparently gone to my house where the original AGM was to take place. So we'll see when he comes in. I want to thank you all for the confidence that you all have imposed on me. I have learned from my elders. One of them is sitting here. Qadir Jafar is another one who would be coming. But above all, there's a lot that I have learned from the gentleman sitting on my left, Mr. Aziz Memon. I have been involved for several years, and I've been seeing the functioning of ESUP from what it was when I started and to where it is now. It's you all supporting Mr. Aziz Memon, but he was leading the ship. He was the one guiding. And there are many things that he has come up with which I never thought would have ever been able to be done at ESUP. And let me say a few words which we have mentioned in the newsletter as well. You all would recall that upon assuming the office of the president of ESUP, Mr. Aziz Memon has worked diligently for the promotion of ESUP, such as continuous liaison with the ESU, DG, ESU International President and other members. Phenomenally, I tell you. I have been getting all the information from him, where he was traveling, who he was meeting. He had just come back from London. Have been meeting people there as well. Furthermore, he is the first elected vice president of ESU International. First. That again is a first for ESUP. He has also been instrumental in enhancing the membership base and devoted a lot of time at ESUP in doing it. If you look at the newsletter and you see the pictures, look at the quality of membership that has joined ESUP. Never before has this been done. And what my friend just mentioned about the jump in the collection and the financial standing of ESUP, it is primarily for the money that we have got. So that is why, additionally, under his leadership, the financial position of ESUP increased in leaps and bounds and has been judicially invested for the returns. Moreover, in association with Sadaki Nomata, now he was our ambassador from Japan in Pakistan some years ago, and I remember him going there and asking me what the contact numbers are. And despite the lack of time one has when you're traveling, he contacted Mr. Nomata and found out what are the rules and regulations by which they go. So here we are, ESUP sitting in Pakistan, reaching out to other chapters and finding out how they are functioning. So that was where he started, had it in mind that the rules book will be made. So he reviewed the rules of ESU International, which would be announced at the ESU, which we have just done, and got your okay. Thank you. Therefore, as provided in the rule book of ESUP on page 13, if you have one, paragraph 2, as a senior vice president, I propose to the NCEC that Mr. Aziz Memon should be bestowed the prestigious position of patron-in-chief. Accordingly, and without any hesitation, during the meeting held on the 2nd of February, it was unanimously approved and proposed, and which I am now proposing to the AGM for their acceptance and approval. Mr. Memon as the patron-in-chief. It is my privilege and pleasure to make this announcement, and please join me in extending the heartiest congratulations to Mr. Aziz Memon. Well-deserved position, a very well-deserved position. Go ahead.
If you want to take a picture. Yours, not mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Plus, you can say anything more also. You want to say anything more?
That's right.
But
Puri report here. I would request Mr. Aziz Memon to go about saying what he has been done in the whole year, the annual report as we call it.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I say anything, I just want to ask you one question. Did you have tea, coffee? Did you take samosas, fresh samosas? Did you? So now, if you have done everything, may I request you to give a big round of applause to the incoming President Kaleem Faruqi. You know, it took us a lot of time. Mr. Moin Fuda and Tariq Ikram, and we sat we said that it should not be that the president of ESUP should fall from the sky. No. It should not be that if someone desires Mr. A, B, C, he could just become the president. We said no. So what we agreed to? We agreed to a succession plan. We agreed that the senior vice president automatically becomes the president, because he is now fully aware of the ESU activities, the finance, the membership, and can take it forward. So today, I have no hesitation in telling you that Kaleem Farooqui will be a great president. He will be a successful president. And as I told him from day one, that wherever and whenever he would need my help or guidance, I will not thrust upon him, but I will be honestly, affectionately available. So this is what I have to. And Kaleem Farooqui has served many organizations, whether it is the horticulture or Pakistan, Japan, and he has done a very good job. So I'm sure that he will do a very good job with English-speaking union. My friends, it was almost 5 years back, after the resignation of Barrister Shahida Jameel, that I was asked to take over. We had one account in MCB. We had an overdraft of 175,000. But anyway, we worked on it. And today, as the treasurer confirmed that we hand over to Kaleem Farooqui, we hand over an endowment fund of 7 million rupees, 70 lakh rupees. This will be able to take care of the tea charges. We started the life membership formula, because going around with the ball 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, it was tiring. So now 50,000 and we'll save the money. The return will come on it. Now today also, if you look at it, we have invested at 10.75%, 2 million, 2.2 at 11%. So this is, and we have always taken the advice of Basrai, and he would still be available when Kaleem Farooqui will seek his advice. My friends, membership, life members, corporate members of quality are around 200. This is also your achievement, and you deserve a big round of applause for that. We have brought English-speaking union on the international arena. My becoming the Vice President International, I do not feel that was a big achievement. But, taking out the 60th anniversary book, coffee book, which went around the world, and I can tell you that it brought us a lot of appreciation that something is happening in Pakistan. And if I do not mention and record my appreciation for the Joint Secretary Afshal Lalani, I would be failing. After that, a quarterly issue came out, and today I just saw one more issue handed over to me. So this has now become a regular feature, and I'm sure Mr. Kaleem Farooqui will continue the tradition of quarterly issue. And this is again from the 60th anniversary book. We were able to save enough money to fund the Oracy app. We did not spend from our pocket. Now this issue also is completely self-funded by 2 advertisements. So it is good. Something goes to other members, something goes to the international arena, and our funds are not dented. Mr. Kaleem Farooqui, President, mentioned that I've just come back from London. Yes, I did. And there was a gathering where the Queen was to come because she was celebrating 70 years of taking over the power. Unfortunately, due to ill health, she could not. And but Prince Charles was there. He, like his father, is quite keen to see ESUP prosper in Pakistan. We had great speakers. We had great events. We had a fellowship dinner at the house of Kaleem Faruqi, in which the President of Pakistan came. So, we, unfortunately, due to the sad demise of his mother, today's dinner has been not cancelled, but postponed. Majid Aziz mentioned about the withdrawals so that we could have a unanimous go. I'm thankful to each and every one, because I requested and I have handed over the list of those who have withdrawn to Kaleem and the NCEC so that they can accommodate them as and when. For the Vice President also, there were 3 names, Parvez, Irfan and Shehzad Sabir, but then Shehzad Sabir was kind enough to step back to join the NCEC, so we got them unopposed. We have signed an MOU with Queen's Mary University. Queen's Mary University is the oldest university of UK, and their medical branch is the oldest in the world, having started in the 7th century. Their delegation, headed by Professor Colin Grant, could not come earlier because he was unwell, but now they have given us the travel schedule, and they would be, I have informed the President, they would be arriving on 22nd of May this year and will depart on 26th of May. My friends, in the last ICM was virtual. In the ICM before that, it was in St. Petersburg. I was there, and with the help of Parvez Madraswala, we had put up our, request for holding the next ICM. But then, because of the issues of COVID, that could not take place. I attended the board meeting 4 days back in London, and it was decided there that the next ICM will take place in Karachi on 28th, 29th, 30th October. So my congratulations to President Kaleem Faruqi and the NCC members. And this would be first ICM was held under the able leadership of past President Mr. Qadir Jafar, and this was in the year 1997. So we would be hosting another ICM exactly 26 years after that. I mentioned to you 60th anniversary book, the newsletters, Oracy app, is doing very well. Sunena is working on it, Nisar Sheikh is working on it, and this will be taking us to the next era. Zora is here, IPSC competition. Zora, are you here? Zora? Yes, thank you. You did hard work for the IPSC, and we had 3 very brilliant Miss Iman Shiraz won the Ahmed Jafar Cup. It was number 1, and she's around 15, 16 years old young girl. She has got a bright future ahead of us. And the first runner-up was Miss Shariana Zainab. Now both are of Lahore Grammar School, Islamabad, and the 3rd position went to Lahore Grammar School, Defence. This also is Lahore. And this was Muhammad Bilal Tariq. I hope that some candidates of Karachi will also come up. The IPSC this year will again be virtual. It will not be in person in London. Hopefully next year we will be able to have it in person. I am indebted to the NCEC and for everyone for bestowing on me the title of patron-in-chief. I will try to do my best, and I would be available to each and every one of you wherever they want, whenever they want. With the permission of the President Kaleem Faruqi, I wanted to inform the new NCEC that the first meeting will be held on 2nd of April, Saturday, at 4 p.m. at 91 Clifton. I thank you once again, and I should stand up to thank all of you. Thank you. I'm not going anywhere, but I want to thank you.
Thank you. If I could have 1 minute, if anyone wants to say anything. Mr. Awari, would you like to comment? Please. You are welcome. You can come here if you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, this is a delightful evening for 2-3 reasons. Firstly, can you hear me? Firstly, that this is a unanimous decision to get a new committee in. Number 2, to honor Kaleem Faruqi for the hard work he's done and for the richly title of president which he deserves. But most of all, to thank Aziz Memon, who is not only Aziz Memon, but Aziz. Aziz bole to bole Aziz Memon. This is, everybody knows only one Aziz Memon. So Aziz has richly been given the title of patron-in-chief, because I told him, I said, if you leave now, Aziz, what's going to happen to you? He said, I'm not going to leave. They're proposing me as patron-in-chief. I said, good. Patron-in-chief for life. Yeah. But hard work, and he convinced me that ESUP will never be short of funds with the life membership scheme he introduced. So folks, please give a big hand to all of them. Yeah.
Thank you, Baba. Any other member would like to say something? मिस्टर मुश्ताक नूर वाला वो पीछे ले जाए हैं.
Thank you very much. From the very outset, I would like to congratulate.
आ रही है डॉक्टर.
From the very outset, I would like to congratulate the incoming president, Mr. Kaleem Faruqi. I had been associated with ESUP for nearly 24 years, and what I have seen, that the dedication and endeavor which Mr. Kaleem Faruqi has given and time given to the ESUP, I think he deserves the right place where he is today. But one more thing is very important. Those who navigated the ESUP for all these years, they must also be thanked for doing a wonderful job to anchoring the ESUP to this level. The last, I would say that what Mr. Aziz Memon has done, I think it's very difficult to carry out this responsibility after the retirement of Shahida Jameel, who left. So I think Mr. Aziz Memon should be given a good applause, because he has given full time both within the country and representing the ESUP in the international world. So this is one of the very important subject which very difficult to cater. I must also thank to Mr. Ikram, Tariq Ikram, for endeavoring hard, and other members who worked during the 20 and 22
Thank you.
All my best. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would request that the outgoing president and incoming president exchange their seats. नहीं आप हो गया कर लिया. Okay. Now, the new president, Mr. Farooqi, please take over the last item on the agenda is any other business.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. Just wanted to say a few words. ESUP has attained a level which many such chapters abroad would envy. And that is because of the hard work that has been done right from the inception. I would like to acknowledge Mr. Qadir Jafar, who has just come in. Qadir Bhai, will you stand up, please, sir? His revered father was the one who started this 60 years ago, Mr. Ahmad Jafar, a great man, and then he followed. We have Mr. Behram Awari, his father, who were the founders, members of this society. It's no less an organization in Pakistan. The one thing that what we can say is first every time, one is a gentleman's club now. No more fighting. There's no fighting about the election. We understand each other, who should be there to do whatever needs to be done. Those who have not been, we need your help. We need the help of the members to get new members. It should be a vibrant forum with young people to come in. And one thing that I would like more is of the ladies to get involved. We only have 4 or 5 here. There should have been at least 30 or 40%. Yasmin is one who is there for women empowerment. We have ladies here, but you should all get some more. I remember there was one occasion where Mike, the Deputy High Commissioner, said if I had known the ratio of the ladies attending, I would not have come. And that is what, the people are looking forward to in Pakistan. And this is the forum where we can do it. Secondly, the endowment fund. Now this is something, it's again a first as far as the ESUP is concerned. The amount of money that we have taken into it, we'll make sure it is not touched. We should be running from the returns of the endowment fund and add more to it. Whatever events we have, it should be sponsored. There are corporate people sitting here, they should be able to sponsor, and this is how we should carry forward. The yearbook, thanks to Afshan Lalani, has done wonders. Like what Aziz Saab just mentioned, it has not only reached our membership here, it has reached all of the people who matter in Pakistan and overseas. I have been traveling with it. It has gone to the President, to the Prime Minister, to the ministers, and also it went abroad. It has created a great impact. The new membership, I think, was much based on the yearbook and then the quarterly newsletters that we are coming in. NCEC, we have the right people in the NCEC. The weight that we have, the people with the reputation that they have, it matters. And I'm sure, just like the previous one, people in the NSC will help me to move this, ESUP forward. Again, thank you all. I need your help. We need this forum to grow further and be recognized as one of the best amongst the ESU. Thank you very much.
We made this ESUP Pakistan pins. ESUP Pakistan pins, we made this. And they are available to all members. And this pin, when I presented to the ESU International Board directors, they highly appreciated that and put up on the jacket. Now, this is at a cost of only 350 rupees. Ashfaq has it. You can buy from them and wear it with pride. And the cost is a little bit more because the quantity was less. When we go for the second run and make a larger quantity, the cost will come down. But please have one from Ashfaq, the ESUP, because in the international it was just ESU. We have made it ESUP and then we have written Pakistan also.
Mr. Fuda.
Top of that, I like to propose to him that the President, now that the Patron-in-Chief mentioned 7 million rupees, so at least a target of on a lighter tone of 10 million rupees when you finish your term in 2 years' time and someone from the two gentlemen here succeeds you eventually, then we will set the target in future. Thank you.
if there is no other matter of business, I request the permission of the new president to close the meeting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I announce the closure of this annual general body meeting. Thank you very much for attendance.